You're right there. In that moment, your body responds at first. You feel like it's going to work this time. But then, gradually, as if someone were slowly letting air out of a balloon, everything starts to deflate. And there you are, in bed, trying to understand what's happening, trying to force it, trying to pretend everything's fine. But it's not. And the worst part isn't even your body failing. It's the awkward silence afterwards. It's her or his look trying to hide the disappointment. It's you making up an excuse to get out of the situation. It's the shame that keeps hammering in your head for days. You start avoiding intimate moments. You make up headaches, exhaustion, anything. You become irritable, distant, afraid to try again and go through the same humiliation. There are nights when you lie awake staring at the ceiling, asking yourself, have I lost my manhood? Is this forever? Am I still a man? Has this happened to you? Have you felt your body betray you when you need it most? Have you avoided an intimate situation out of fear of failing? If so, stay with me, because what I'm about to explain could completely change how you see this problem. In my practice, I see strong, successful, determined men every day who walk in with their eyes down and voices trembling to talk about this. The first thing I do is look them in the eye and say, this isn't a character flaw or lack of desire. It's a problem of vascular engineering. It's biological, physical, and it has a solution. For you to understand once and for all why your erection starts but doesn't last, I want you to use a visual analogy with me. Imagine a large dam that needs to maintain a high water level to generate power. For this dam to work, the river needs to bring water in with force, but the most critical point isn't the inlet. It's the outlet gates. If the gates are old, rusted, or have worn seals, water will leak underneath. It doesn't matter how much water the river pushes into the dam. If the gates don't seal the system, the level will never rise enough to generate the necessary pressure. In men's health, your vascular system works exactly the same way. Blood is the river water. When you feel desire, nitric oxide works to dilate the arteries so blood can enter. But the secret to lasting rigidity isn't just in blood entering, but in your body's ability to lock that blood inside. This is what we call the veno-occlusive mechanism. When this system is healthy, your veins behave like stainless steel gates that close hermetically, maintaining maximum pressure. The problem is that over the years and with the lack of specific nutrients, these gates begin to suffer a kind of biological rust. They lose elasticity and seal. That's why you can get that initial erection, but soon after you notice the blood is escaping. The system has a chronic leak in the retention valves. If this content is making sense to you and helping you understand your body in a way no one has ever explained before, take this moment to subscribe to the channel. Here I talk about men's health in a serious, safe way, completely based on scientific evidence, because my goal is for you to regain authority over your own body and your masculinity. I know many of you have already tried solving this with the blue pill, miracle teas, ointments, pharmacy supplements, and maybe it even worked once or twice. But afterwards, the problem came back, didn't it? Let me explain why. These medications are mere palliatives. They only mask the symptom and create a terrible psychological dependency because you start to believe it only works under the effect of a chemical drug. The big mistake is that these pills don't treat the real cause. They don't restore the elasticity of your arteries and don't return health to your vascular valves. On the contrary, continuous use can cause even greater oxidative stress in your blood vessels. Without rebuilding the physical foundation, without cleaning the rust from your venous gates, any improvement will be just a passing illusion. As soon as the medication's effect wears off, the frustration comes back even heavier, and you realize the problem is still there, progressing silently. Your body isn't crying out for a momentary chemical solution. It's begging for deep biological reconstruction. Now let me ask you to think. What if your body wasn't asking for medication, but reconstruction? What if, instead of forcing an artificial response, you could restore the natural function of your vascular system, regenerate the cells in your arteries, strengthen the valves, increase nitric oxide production organically, and make your body work the way it used to. That's what we're talking about. Not a quick fix, but deep cellular reconstruction. There's a nutritional protocol based on high absorption supplementation developed exactly for this. It works with specific nutrients that act directly on vascular health. L-arginine and L-citrulline, nitric oxide precursors. Tribulus terrestris, improves libido and hormonal function. Zinc, essential for testosterone. Selenium, powerful antioxidant. B-complex vitamins, regulate cellular energy, and other bioactive compounds that nourish the vascular endothelium. It's the easiest, fastest, and most practical way to treat the root cause because it acts on the base of the hydraulic problem. By nourishing vascular cells, you allow your gates to seal blood efficiently again. However, I need to give you a very serious medical warning about the progressive nature of this problem. Male vascular health doesn't stay stagnant. Either it's in a process of regeneration or it's in a process of degeneration. If you've already noticed that your erections aren't what they used to be, know that vascular tissue tends to suffer fibrosis if nothing is done. If you don't act now to rebuild flow and retention, the damage to the valves can become irreversible, reaching a point where not even the strongest pharmacy medications will be able to have an effect. The time to act and reform your system is while your body still responds to stimuli. I'm not saying this to scare you. It's clinical truth, and you can prevent this, but you need to act now. When you start this protocol consistently, the changes aren't just in erection. They're cascading, because when you improve vascular health, you improve circulation as a whole. In the first few weeks, you notice more energy. Chronic fatigue decreases. You wake up more willing. Your mind becomes clearer, more focused. Your mood improves. You become less irritable, less anxious. And then comes the change you've been waiting for most. Erection starts responding again, not artificially, but naturally, firm, sustained, the way you remember it. And with that comes confidence. You stop avoiding intimacy. You stop being afraid of failing. You feel like a man again. My patients also report improvement in sleep, physical stamina, libido, and even in their relationship, because when you solve a problem that was consuming you inside, everything around you improves. When I recommend this protocol, I don't focus on price. I focus on clinical efficacy. The ideal treatment is 3 to 5 months because arterial tissue, endothelial cells, take about 120 days to completely regenerate. You're rebuilding vascular structure, cell by cell. The link to the official website is in the video description. And about privacy, delivery is completely discreet. No product identification. No supplement name, neutral, secure, professional packaging. No one will know what you bought. Taking care of this isn't vanity, it's self-care. It's respect for your body. It's allowing yourself to live the sex life you deserve, without shame, without frustration, without fear. You don't need to accept this as fate. You don't need to carry this weight alone. You don't need to pretend everything's fine. Your body is asking for help. And you have the power to respond. Take this step, rebuild the foundation, treat the cause, and get back to living with confidence, with pleasure, with the dignity every man deserves. I believe in you. Cheers, and see you in the next video.